And I shut her off. We've got a problem somewhere. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Michael here again, KE4EST, and we are back with this RCA WO-33 Alpha. As you can see, a lot's changed since the last time we went through this. So let me get you up to speed here. For one, this here, and you've seen before, this can of capacitors here has got 4 in it, and this bottom one's a 20. I've replaced it 22 over here. These two, as you can see, they're parallel together. I left that in there to show you that. One, I went ahead and left it for one reason. Another reason was the resistance was off, because I check these things as I go along, and so I put that, left it in there to show you. You can see it good now. There's parallel on them together. So it's a 20 and a 10, which makes 30. And I went with 47 here, which is fine in this application. This up here is a 40. So I went with 47 right here. And this can up here, they've got it turned around the other way. So if you ain't careful, you'll go, you'll start saying, okay, well, I then looked it up. I know what's going on. This is a 20, a 10, a 20, and a 40. And you'll start going through the same thing here. That's not the case. This here is a 40 on the bottom, and that's been moved down here with the 47. This here is the 10. There's no marking on it. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but on the side of the can, it'll give you a legend. It shows a triangle and a half moon and a square and then a blank. And it tells you what each one of them are. And this one here's the blank one, or the line, so we'll call it the line. The dash. That's 10. That's been moved here, and you can see I've not soldered in this ground just yet, and I've still got to trim this side of this up. Because I got to this point, I said, well, it's time to stop. Turn the camera back on, because I'm getting real close to being able to fire this thing up. Never had it turned on. I know, if the power supply section going, is something else going to be wrong with it, but it'd be nice to see a little trace come on here in a few minutes. But so anyway, the 10's over here. This here is a 20 that has been moved up to here. Yeah, kind of hard for me to see, and I'm showing the camera and everything here, but making sure I wasn't going crazy. I thought I'd put something in the wrong place first, but this 20 I made 22 again and replaced it, moved it there. There was a resistor, if you go back and look at another video, coming across here and going over here. This 10, I've replaced that with this resistor here. Not because, let's see, where is it? It's this one right here. This one here was up here going down there. It's not because it's bad. It actually tests pretty good, because I just tested it for the fun of it after it's broke off. Here you can see. But I unsoldered it and went to move it, and the lead just broke off. So there's been some stress on it somewhere before or something, or it might have been, when somebody was putting it in. Sometimes it happens. Get a little stressed, but the technician looks at it and says, okay, it looks good. You measure resistance across, it looks good. Turn it on, the circuit's working fine, but it's barely making connection in there, just ready to snap. So I just barely moved it, and it just broke right off. I was like, what? So I replaced it with this one here. It's kind of goofy at an angle there, but make it work like I wanted to, and still leave clearance there. I probably could have straightened it up a little better. But anyway. And let's see, there was some grounds like here, and I moved it down to here, and then, so I'm going to take these cans completely out, and they was using, tie to ground here. No, it was right here, going up into the circuit, so I moved that down to here. And this orange wire was right here, right in there, if you can see that, on this little tab, because I'm going to twist these tabs and pull these cans out, because I want to, leave room for electronics on the other side. Put curve tracer board in here. But so I moved that over there, and that's what I do with that. So I'm gonna have to move this back a little bit. I had it so you can see it good, but maybe you can still kind of see what I'm doing here. I am ready to put in this last 22 that was here. I'll try to get it where you can still see a little bit better, but kind of work and film this at the same time. So if I put this here, I'm still trying to decide if I want to just bring it like that, which is kind of boop, boop, boop. I guess it would look neater if it were over here. Like that, but it's kind of, so I guess I will. I guess I got it right. So if I want to do that, I've left this unsoldered too. These wires here, because this resistor needs to go in here. And if it's going to be behind that capacitor, I need to go ahead and do that now. It'll make things a lot easier. So let's go in there and let's see. You start heating you up. There she goes. Yeah, if you never soldered a whole lot or new at it, what you want to do is go in. I use this for example. Heat your part up. So I've got the iron touching that. Let that get hot a minute. And then bring your solder in. See, I just touched the part and it flowed right onto it there. You don't go in and start doing this mess right here, you know, where you're just hitting the solder up there. See how it just makes a mess, and it don't make a good connection, because then you'll think you've got it soldered too sometimes, and well, I got it, but you have a cold solder joint. You want to get the part that you're, you know, the parts you're tying together, you want to get them good and heated up so that they're up to temperature. See, I just touched the solder to this. I'm not touching the iron, and it's melting it. So that everything, the solder flows nice and evenly. But anyway, so and I'm gonna trim off some little. Wow, that burnt me right there. Forgot I was doing that, but yeah, there was another resistor here. I replaced it with this one here. The resistor was fine, just the way the leads are all kind of twisted and cut where I cut it and moved it, or well, I didn't cut it when it was pre-cut, and I moved it, so I just changed the. Put that in there. I didn't have a 2 watt. That was a 2 watt resistor, so I got this 5 watt, 820 ohms. That's what that is. This is the 1.5K resistor that was over here, and this is a 7 watt resistor, and this one, see, it ain't burning me now. I was a little bit out of tolerance, so, well, 5.9K instead of 4.7 in those Allen Bradley. So that's right here. I think I showed you that, but anyway, so. Alright, now, I've got, okay, I went ahead and done that, so we need to bring this in here, which goes to this purple wire, and this is ground. Well, that's kind of neat too. We'll be able to see the values, which I like that. It's nice to glance into something and read the values. I haven't trying to twist it around and move and try to see what the value is. So, put a little bit of this silicone sheathing over this here. Let's see. I can really go a little shorter than that. I got this one a little bit too long, but I think I'll leave it. And I usually put that just over the, like I said, the positive side. Down here you can see a wire. That's just tying these 2 grounds together, and it's pushed back away, and it's just in case one of these other wires touch it that ain't a ground. That's the reason I put that on that ground there. It's usually just the side that's not ground I put that on to insulate it. And, well, I used this a little differently, but man, different filming this. Let's go ahead and bring this through here like that. And that like that. Now you don't have to wrap stuff around real tight. You know, and you might have been told that, and that's the case if it's something that's going to be moved a lot. Now, if there's something that's a wire that's going to be a lot of movement or something, like in a ceiling fan or something or whatever. I know they don't do it, but I would. But, you know, something's got a lot of movement in it, then I'll make sure the wires are mechanically, you know, twisted really good together and soldered together. But something like this, you know, you don't want to just kind of tack solder it in there. You see, I wrapped it around here, but you ain't got to wrap it around 2 or 3 times, you know. If you want to, that's fine. It's just a matter of preference, but you want to make sure it's got a good contact. But I'm saying you ain't got to go wrap it around 10 times. Okay, let's do this one now. And I'm going to get all them. Go through and trim off your excess leads, because not only does it just look ugly, if you're messing around, not paying attention, you move and push this down here or something. That was a short. Make sure these flying leads don't go flying. Now I'm done with that one. I trimmed that one too. So I think everything's done. All the capacitors have been changed out. Everything's been moved. You know, in this section anyway. Everything over here has been tested out. All these other resistors. Everything's fine except for that one. And another thing too, before you know you're getting excited, you're like, man, I'm getting ready to test this out. I'm going by what them guys say. They say don't plug it in. So I didn't plug it in. I went through and I didn't do it. And boy, it's taking me seems like 3 or 4 hours to go through and get all this in here, and or maybe longer. It's taking me about 3 hours to, you know. Well, I had a lot of planning, a lot of sitting there and thinking about it, and go do something else, come back. How do I want to, you know, or I get an email, come in, go read it or something, but how do I want to move everything? But you get all this done, you're like, okay, I want to fire this baby up. Let's see if it works. Stop. Before you do that, before you plug it in, go through every one of these. Like this one here has got, what, 7 capacitors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, counting the big one here. Go through every one of these, especially all these electrolytics. Okay? Mainly these electrolytics. Why is that so dim? I had this light moving, and it's kind of hard to, like I said, film and get the light right for you and right for me. It just seems really kind of dark. I don't know why that is. But go through these and check every one of them. This up here, like, let me see if I can find. I got one right. Got one laying right here. You know, of course, everybody knows this, but this side's your negative side, right? It's usually to ground, not always, but this is your negative. Of course, if it's tandem capacitor, the line side's positive, so that'll throw you for a loop. But anyway, there's your negative side, ground side. So this one up here, I can see there's a stripe up there, and that's going to a ground. Okay, that's not going to a ground. I didn't double ground it or something weird. This one here is going here to that. Line side's going to ground. Line side's up here, going to this ground right here. This is a ground up here. There's a ground here. Down here, the line side's right in here. You can see, you don't see one on this side. I know you can't see it in the camera, but there's, maybe not see the line, but it's not here. You can see there's not one. So, and that's going to this, which is, as you can see, going across back behind here to this ground over here. And this side here is positive, going to positive. This ground's going to this, which is going to a ground here. And that's this negative side here is going to ground. Negative side here is going to this ground I added here. Okay. So everything looks good. Watch and don't drop the. There's nothing. Sometimes watch doing something like that. Don't want to break something underneath there. So let's put this line cord's in good shape, but I can tell you what this is. I can tell you exactly what this is. This is an extension cord that somebody, I mean, it might not be. I've seen brown cords on stuff like a lamp or something, but a lot of extension cords. I got some kind of paint on it there. It's an extension cord. Somebody's chopped the end of it off. Because, hey, you can get a dollar store again for $1, right? Cut that end. It's got the end with the three, there's two on one side and one on the other side. Those little cheap extension cords. You got your line cord. But I'm going to use what they had because that's what I got laying here. And we're going to go back to here. We did in the other video. And yeah, I think I'm going to redress this though. I'm going to hook this up. And see what happens. Of course, I'm going to put this on a variac and limited supply. So we can bring it up slowly. Or I mean on a isolated variac. Bring it up slow. And this ain't going to be real pretty. I'm at the point now, all the important stuff's correct. This is important too, of course, but make sure it's going to the right place. But I'll go back and do something different with this when I'm done. I ain't decided yet. I want to give it some kind of a strain relief and all that. Right now, I want to know if this thing works. I think you can see I'm getting a little more anxious. I'm going a little faster here because I have no idea. Not a clue. May plug this in and just like that solder smoke, I may have smoke come out of it. May hear a bang bang. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope none of that happens. I just hope we get some kind of a trace. Even if something's wrong, something else on the circuit, a tube's weak or something. Got a piece of solder down my mat here melted in. Oh, so I was like, where'd that come from? That's when I was playing with it and showing you the soldering iron. Okay, making sure everything looks good back there. Let's bring it around here. That's on off. Alright, so who knows where what's at or what ain't, and I've not cleaned any of the contacts on any of these switches here. But let me see, let me bring that. Look at that glowing. I put that light back there. Move the light somewhere different there. Alright, let's plug her in. And I'm going to start off with, I don't know, about 50 volts. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh. Okay. I just turned on the power there. Turn that on. Well, I'm used to volume knobs. I don't want the radio to come out and blast, but that's intensity, so let's turn that all the way up. And I'm trying to see if we got any tubes lighting up. Yep. They're lighting up very dimly. Nothing seems to be going goofy here. So let's bring it up a little more. Maybe about 80 volts. Okay. And I shut her off. We've got a problem somewhere. We do see smoke. Okay, turn it off, unplug it very carefully. This has got a lot of voltage in it. Where? Now, I wish I had it turned this way. I don't know where that smoke was coming from. Very interesting. Well, well, well. Of course it didn't go right as planned. Let me look at this here. I don't see anything. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do too. I think I see. What the crap? What? That's really odd. Oh. Well, I think I found a... Okay. I hope this is the problem. Alright, let's bring you in here. Alright. See how this black around that? This wire here is turning black. This is one of the high voltage AC leads coming out. Well, I hope I didn't damage anything. It's kind of warm. I have accidentally, even with using this here, have shorted out. It looks like pin 6 and 7 on that tube there. So let's see here. Yeah, that's what it is. I did not realize I had that. Yeah, right there was buried into it there. Well, well. I'm hoping that tube's okay. Can't really tell by looking in it. But that was arcing like a welder. Well, let's put it back in. And instead of getting out the tube tester, make sure we definitely Well, let's try this again. Okay. Let me move the camera and we'll try this again here. Okay. So I've moved everything around here. And I'm going to try this again. Let's see what happens this time. Let's turn it back on over here. Let me move this light. A little bit dark, but we'll be able to see the trace good here. Turn it on. Yep. Let's see, we got a pilot light there. Let it warm up just a second here. Let's bring the intensity up. And we should start seeing something. Nothing. Nothing. Still seeing nothing. Let's see. Intensity's all the way up. Ain't worried about the focus right now. Horizontal, vertical position. These shouldn't affect it. Well, let's see. Okay, the horizontal gain's all the way up. Now the vertical gain's all the way up. These here shouldn't affect seeing a trace. But nothing. So, I wonder what happened. Was it already like this? I don't know. I don't think that little bit of arcing a while ago caused anything else, but it could have. Very well could have. So the tubes are lit up nice and bright in there, so, well, you know, like normal, not overly bright. The filaments are little orange glows in there. Alright, so I'm going to end this video here. And because it's getting long again, and what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll just go ahead and make a third video on this, and we'll go through and do some troubleshooting and see what's going on with it. Until the next video, this is Michael, KE4EST 73. And I shut her off. We've got a problem somewhere.